I have talked before about, to me, wild or just interesting instances of synchronicity just popping up for me in my existence. Strange coincidences, things that happen simultaneously. In some cases, it's like, wow, that's just crazy. In other cases, it's not just crazy, but it's still interesting. It's still like, well, the the simultaneous occurrences of these two things at around the same time is interesting. It's like it's following. It's like it's part of a book, and this is the theme of the book. It's playing out. It's unfolding before our eyes. That we are seeing the themes play out. Except this is real. This is life. When I visited Appalachia, specifically the area that I visited at the Flight 93 Memorial Site near Shanksville, the tiny town of Shanksville, Pennsylvania, in western Pennsylvania, very near West Virginia, the border to West Virginia. And I started to realize that this was the region of the country that it didn't really click in my mind before I left. I was just thinking, I'm going to go see that. That's the Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, and record a video or two about it while I'm up there, and maybe see some interesting things. And I did, but somehow the cultural context of it all, the location of Appalachia, the the poverty of the region, and these are the kinds of people who are many in number, but who mostly just go completely ignored by media types, because these are the kind of people that the media, the snobby types of hot big media sort of people. They just see this as flyover country. They see these people as rubes and hicks and hillbillies, and they hate them, and they're down on them, and they make fun of them, and it's like it's acceptable. It's not acceptable to make fun of poor members of any other ethnic group, but when it's poor whites in Appalachia, then game on, right? Or poor whites in the South, or poor whites anywhere, really. It's then ha ha ha. It's so hilarious to take these people down, to kick these people who are already down, who are already struggling. So that all sort of formed the backdrop of when I was up there. I was noticing the region, and also as I said, while I was there, it's a beautiful area. Just when it comes to the landscape, just the plains. Driving up there, you're driving through mountains, literally tunneling through mountains part of the way. You go over these bridges over huge rivers, and just I was taken aback by the beauty of the area, but it's also an area where there are a lot of people struggling, and there is a lot of poverty, and these are the kind of people that, again, the rich men in Richmond, the rich men north of Richmond, don't give a shit about. They don't even pretend to care about, mostly. So that brings me to the to the interesting synchronicity. You've got this guy, Oliver Anthony, this overnight star, this internet sensation, whose song he's had, as I understand, 3 songs now that are really that are charting on iTunes. But his anthem, his angry working man's anthem, Richmond, north of Richmond, is what's getting him the most attention, and it's number 1 now on iTunes, and it replaced. This is funny to me. It replaced Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town," which was number 1 before this song took over. Now the Jason Aldean song, it's obviously, this is something to me that's, his song is, rather contrived. He's a big country star. This is out of Nashville. This has got a lot of money behind it. Yeah, it's voicing a sentiment that is, more popular amongst red state America, and that's why it caused this sensation and this controversy, and that's the reason for its popularity. But I don't really see it as a very authentic sounding song. It seems to me to be more or less pandering. But Richmond, north of Richmond, by this new guy, Oliver Anthony. This guy that, as far as I know, had no connections in the country music world or in the general music industry world. This is, you listen to this song and it's like just pulsating with authenticity, and just sort of crackling with intensity that you do not find in your typical country music ballad, saying, "I like it here in the South, yeah," like the typical sort of thing. And you do have a lot of those kinds of country music anthems that are affirming country life, or kind of have conservative undertones or overtones to them, but they seem like pretty like more like products, more like something that's just been being pumped out by the industry. This guy, I don't know where he came from. I don't know much about his story. I don't think anybody really does at this point. I guess because he's this new sensation, now he's going to be under the microscope, and now people are going to find out things about him, and probably the snotty Lugenpress will come up with, "Oh wow, he was mean to some girl when he was 16 in high school, or so he's actually a jerk." They'll try to unearth. He got drunk once and said a few things, and people swear that he used the N-word or something like that. You're going to hear some stories like that about the guy's past now that he's out there, now that his song is so huge, and because the song, as I said, is such a force to reckon with. It's so powerful to hear. And I say that as someone who is not really a fan of that type of music, and by that type of music, I don't mean country music so much as this song is more like a folk song to me. This song kind of, it's just a guy strumming a guitar and singing. There's no instrumentation beyond that. And it's a protest song, really. In some ways, it's like it calls to mind early Dylan or some of those others, Woody Guthrie or whatever. Some of those songs from way back when, the origin of the folk music scene that were about the injustices in the system, and the thing was, at the time, that was all like considered left wing and left leaning, and these folk singers were looked at as scruffy little leftists. Today, you've got this scruffy guy with this scruffy beard singing about how the rich and powerful want to control everything, and how he wishes that they actually cared about minors, miners, and not just minors, minors, on an island somewhere. The most memorable line of the song, probably. Talking about how the working man has it, is getting screwed, has it rough, is getting bullshit pay. All these things that you would think that in a previous age this would have signaled to the left. This would have signaled protest song, somebody taking on the system, etc., etc. But now, because this guy is from Appalachia, those are his origins. That's his argot. That's his identity, and he embraces it. Simply because he comes out of that region, which just happened to be the region that I was in the midst of during my trip last week. That very fact, and the fact that he's saying things like like he made a fat shaming line in his song. He said if the obese are dominating, are cheating on welfare and getting when people who really need financial help are starving in the streets. It's like that's what the left today is more concerned about. Oh, he's making fun of 300-pound women. He doesn't say women, but that they'll fill that in, of course, and they'll say, oh, this is just a dog whistle, Yeah, he doesn't say anything objectionable. He doesn't say anything racist. He doesn't, it seems to be, it seems to be just a protest song without any partisan message about Republicans or Democrats. But really, we know he's just a Trump supporter, or he's just a Trump plant, or something like that. You're going to hear that kind of stuff if you're not hearing it already. And I don't know, but still, we can, or I should say, one can draw attention to and complain and point out these instances of the Lugenpress being the Lugenpress. But I think one shouldn't miss the bigger picture, which is that all of these criticisms, all of these, if you want to even call them criticisms, all of these reactions on the part of the liberal establishment are not having the least bit of effect on this guy's success. And again, he just came out of nowhere. I know there will be people thinking that this, like he's thinking that he must be an industry plant or this, that, or the other thing. I'm telling you that when I hear the song, again, and if you haven't heard it, take a listen. When you hear his song Richmond, north of Richmond, which is a clever reference to Washington, D.C., and the denizens of Washington, D.C., when you hear that song, I don't think you have any choice but to grapple with, this is real. This is authentic. This is coming from a place of, real real emotion, and I think that's what gives it its appeal. It's unadorned. It's not gussied up in any way. It doesn't have any fancy production values behind it. And it's very straightforward in what it's saying, and it's reflecting the way that a lot of people are feeling. A lot of people are feeling these days. So I just wanted to take a minute to comment on this Oliver Anthony phenomenon, and give y'all a few of my thoughts about it. Again, I find it very interesting. It's like the first time I really have visited that part of the country, and then somebody from that part of the country just becomes this overnight sensation. It's pretty wild synchronicity, as far as I'm concerned. So leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Let me know. Thanks for watching.